Daniel. Oh, what that dying. Well, my name is Blakk Rasta, and this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunumo, where we speak truth to power. And this is 92.7 in Living Stereo. Hey, here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we would only just criticize to build and not to destroy. We are in the service of Jehovah and country. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot. And of course, I'm most excited to be with you. Now, rolling from the news room, on the news reel. My brother, my sister, today we have a number of things to look at. And I need you to open your ears and eyes and listen and watch with rapt attention. Today we have a number of things to look at. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunuman. Here we speak truth to power. Now share the link. We are live streaming on Facebook, also streaming live on Instagram, streaming live on YouTube, and streaming live on Twitter. Oh my God, have mercy. And we are in the studio right here at 92.7 FM 3. That's our name. Now, the very first thing I want to look at today is taken from my own news, 3 News. My brother, my sister, and that's the most authentic source of news online. It says, former Chief Justice Sophia Akufu joins picketing pensioners against DDEP. I take it again. Former Chief Justice Sophia Akufu joins picketing pensioners against DDEP. And I read, former Chief Justice Sophia Akufu was spotted on Friday, February 10 at the Ministry of Finance, where some pensioners have been picketing in demand for their exemption from the Domestic Debt Exchange Program, DDEP. Now, the pensioners have been picketing at the ministry since Monday, February 6, to be exempted from the program. Deadline for voluntary subscribers to join the program is Friday, after the ministry gave another extension from Tuesday, February 7. Already, government has reached agreements with banks, insurance companies, and securities companies to join the program, which is meant to be part of the country's debt restructuring exercise ahead of an extended credit facility from the International Monetary Fund, IMF. Government has assured all active workers of exempting their pension funds from the program, but it is said to have included pensioners' funds in its revised memorandum. Most of the pensioners say the bonds with government is their only source of livelihood, having worked to save those monies. Government's seeming nonchalance to their demands force them to begin an action which sees them come to the finance ministry between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. each day to press them home. Wow! It is interesting, my brother, my sister, how things are going. It is so sad, my brother, my sister, that we sit back here and allow ourselves to go through this. These are pensioners who are supposed to be home, telling and announcing stories to their grandchildren and great-grandchildren. These are people who have worked very hard to salvage the image of this country and taking the legacy of this country. But today, their hard work is being desecrated, dehumanized, and at the same time, thrown to the dogs. They say a nation that has no respect for its heroes is not worth dying for. And in the reign of Nana Akufo-Addo, this statement seems to make more meaning than any other time. My brother, my sister, so this is a clear example that we need to unleash on the people. Hear me now. When you are in politics, you might steal a lot of money. You might have ill-gotten wealth. But my brother, my sister, this ill-gotten wealth is like the sea. It will still need to be replenished anytime it rains. It's never too much for you. And if you don't replenish it, no matter how long, it will run dry. You might have all of the wealth you have ever dreamt about whilst you are in government. But when you leave government, reality will stare at you. And if you're not careful, slap your cringing brows. What is Blakk Rasta talking about? Listen. Today, my brother, my sister, you might be in government and you have the opportunity to fly around the country. You are flying around the country, my brother, my sister, getting the help of foreign doctors, going from one hospital to the other, from the United States of America all the way through England to South Africa to Japan and China. When you get out of power, you will join the queues that you did not help disperse whilst you were in power at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. You will join the queues right there at G or Komfo Anochi Teaching Hospital. And if you are not fortunate, you will join the queues at the Bimbila Hospital where there's no electricity and the morgue has nothing but something that is close to my money in there right now. It hurts me, my brother, my sister, that our politicians don't seem to see all these things coming. And although they will run out of energy at the time that they are out of government, most of them will never ever come out to face reality. How many politicians will continue fighting for their political party rather than fighting for the nation? So it's all about party partisanship. It has nothing to do with nationalism. And these are the things that kill us every now and then. My brother, my sister, it hurts me that today, people who are supposed to be sitting at home, taking care of their grandchildren, telling them interesting stories, my brother, my sister, are today running around the ministries, my brother, my sister, looking for them to be exempted from a demonic program. Now, this woman here, we all know, was who? At the time of who? Let me take you through this again so you will know exactly who we are talking about. This is a former Chief Justice, and her name is Sophia Akufu. In fact, today, she is sitting out there carrying placards. All the energy has depreciated. This is her own party she is sitting down and talking about. It hurts me, my brother, my sister, that at this juncture, we continue to do politics. We continue to be very partisan and never look at our nation. We must, my brother, my sister, open our ears and eyes, or else this country would continue going down. Or else this country would continue so hard and make some money that they are saving for the rest of their lives. Some of them have underlying health problems. You will rope them into your demonism without their consent. Time like this would come with all our gold and diamond and bauxite. We will still run to the colonizer, the people who enslaved us, and still be asking them for advice. No matter how much in need you are, you should never ever run to the devil for help. The IMF and the World Bank have never been friends to us. They might pretend all they can to love us, but we know that they don't love us. We remember all the economic hitmen. We remember how they will never ever mean good for us. Today, my brother, my sister, it is the IMF and the World Bank we are running to, as if we are a nation of sheep. No common sense. What happened to our gold and our diamond? Today, Anglo Gold Ashanti, the so-called, is 100% foreign owned. And they wanted to even come out with another demonism known as Ejapa, where they will sell all the minds that we will discover in the future to people who have no respect for us. It hurts me, my brother, my sister, that some of us still continue to make the same mistakes, either intentionally or just foolishly. That no matter how far away we are from each other, there would be a common meeting point. And the common meeting point is now. You might fly around, fly as high as you want, but you will by all means descend, because man was not made to live in the air. Even birds, when they fly high, no matter how high, they will have to come down. If for your village, in our villages, all the brilliant ones, yet there is no opportunity for them for higher study. It is all about who has the deep pockets. Now that the scales must tip over now, and the scale must tip over in our favor. What is Blakk Rasta talking about? It's been too long since these corrupt people have been playing on the field. It's about time to relegate all of them to the background so that Ghana would be the absolute winner. I want to congratulate Madam Sophia Akufu. I'm sure she could have continued to talk to this dirty government, to continue stashing money into her account. But how long can this go? Nana Akufo-Addo has forgotten that one day he would also be a pensioner. In fact, he is a pensioner. Nana Akufo-Addo is a pensioner. He has succeeded in retiring a man 17 years or so younger than him. And I'm talking about Domlevo. Yet, he still has all the energy. In fact, his senior advisor, who is even far older than him, has more energy to continue serving. Yet, people who are stronger, 17 years younger, are all relegated to the background. To God be the glory. It is a big lesson to all of us. Those of us who are slightly younger, it is time for us to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is Ghana. When this president was nonchalantly running around the world, gallivanting and throwing about his weight like a king with no crown. My brother, my sister, securing dirty loans from around the world, coming home to celebrate this with Kenke parties. Little did they know that common sense had totally eluded them. Today they are seeing the reality, and you'll be shocked that all these times that we are fighting, there are some people who are fighting us because we are fighting to protect their future. It's sad. It's very sad. The people don't trust politicians anymore. No matter what politicians will say, nobody believes them. Because in these times, they have told one too many lies, two too many lies, four many lies, four too many lies, five too many lies. So the people have lost it all for them. To God be the glory. My brother, my sister, the next thing I want to look at is a bit thorny. But it is important we looked at it. And I need you to come along. I'm reading this one from Ghana Word, and it says, K.T. Hammond, Stephen Amwa combination, I see fire ahead. Governance expert. And I read, a governance lecturer at the Central University, Dr. Benjamin Ochre Ankara, has said that he fears a situation of chaos at the Ministry of Trade and Industry in the near future. This follows the appointments of Kwabena Tahiru Mohammed and Stephen Amwa by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as Minister of Trade and Industry and Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry respectively. The appointments of the two became necessary after Alan Chermating, the former minister, tendered in his resignation in January 2023 so that he could focus on his presidential ambitions. But reacting to the news of, reacting to the news of the appointment of the two while speaking on Peace FM and monitored by Ghana Web, Dr. Benjamin Ochre Ankara said that knowing Stephen Amwa, the member of parliament for Inshaisu, the way he does, someone needs to speak with him. He said that with the two personalities heading the Ministry of Trade and Industry, if care is not taken, it might result in a very chaotic situation at the ministry. Now, interestingly, the two here, Katie Amond and Stephen Amwa, attended the same school, T.I. Ahmadiyya Secondary School. In fact, I also went to the same school in Kumasi. Stephen Amwa, in fact, whilst in school, we called him Sticker. I know him, and I know him very well. My brother, my sister, now what this governance aspect is saying is nothing but the truth. This was the same Stephen Amwa, my brother, my sister, who granted an interview a few months back and shed bitter tears that Nana Akufo-Addo was doing a lot. Yet the people of Ghana seemed not to see anything. And he started weeping on live TV. My brother, my sister, it's all about the party, not about the country anymore. This was the same member of parliament for Inshaisu who went to parliament and started speaking kindergarten vocabulary into the ears of people. In this country, it's all about who has the most verbose vocabulary and not about who has the energy to tip the scale in the favor of the nation. I'm speaking in parables. These days, I've come to realize that I am far deeper than a lot of people in this country. I used to think that we're all on the same platform and we could think together and let things work for this nation. But the more I speak, the more I realize how weak in mind a lot of us are. But don't worry, we are getting to work to be able to enrich the brains of those who are suffering from brain hemorrhage. One of those is K.T. Hammond, with all the gray hair on his head. My brother, my sister, he has little to write home in terms of respect for the youth, in terms of respect for himself. This man is full of ego. This man with the gray hair who attended my school, T.I. Ahmadiyya Secondary School, is going to clash with Sticker in there because he absolutely has no respect for the youth. Remember, this was the same bald-headed, gray-haired man who came out and told the whole world that the youth will never be able to rule themselves until they have gray hair. That all the youth in Ghana have no brains. What they have is coconut on their heads. Would a right-thinking human being ever say this? It's only a politician with no common sense who would say this. You know why? One, the youth form the majority, and politics is a game of numbers. So if you must get the numbers, you must fall on the youth. And if you start insulting the youth, it means you are a wayward politician. You are a politician who does not know his work. You are a derailed politician. In fact, you have brain hemorrhage. From the day this guy called K.T. Hammond said this thing, I sat back and demeaned his wisdom, but I assured myself that maybe age is taking a better part of him. What this governance aspect has said is nothing but the truth. The only thing he did not say is what I'm saying right now. It might not come from Sticker. It will come from this K.T. Hammond guy who thinks that he's the epitome of wisdom because he has gray hair. My brother, my sister, it hurts me when I have to use strong language. But most of the time, I am forced to use that because that's the only option. We have done all the diplomacy. They don't care, they don't budge. The only way forward is to pull this one on them to give them a shock treatment to their brain. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, this is very interesting. And I need us to look at this quickly. Ah. Oh, Jesus, have mercy. Now I'm reading this thing here, and I need you to come along with me. It's very interesting. I'm reading it from Graphic Online, the national communicator, and it says, Swami NDC youth organizer who incited political violence in quotes, remanded in police custody. And I read, Razak Kwampa Avolia, the National Democratic Congress NDC youth organizer at the Swami constituency in Kumasi, has been remanded in police custody by the Asokwa District Court. He was remanded on Thursday, February 9, 2023 at the district court presided over by Fred Obitry on the charge of offensive conduct conducive to breaches of peace of the state. His accusation is that he incited political violence. The plea of Razak Kwampa Avolia was not taken. He is to reappear on February 14, 2023. I'll leave it here. Wow. My time is up. I wanted to go deeper into this. But listen, why is the National Democratic Congress still not releasing a certain communique on this? Now, this is one of you who has gone astray, talking about killing people to get into power. And you are sitting down quiet. Release a statement or you support his violence. Are you coming out to say that yes, you are the epitome of violence as people have said? And which way my very good friend Eric Mawina Egbeta is in the house. Eric, how are you doing this morning? You good?
Yes,